All right, guys, so good morning. Sitting here in Concord, North Carolina, sitting at a Walmart here. Beautiful day today here. It's probably 40-some, 50 degrees, sun's out. But the reason I wanted to make this video real quick, somebody reached out to me and asked me to touch on this, kind of stress on this a little more, which it's very important. I've tried to always point it out when I talk about certain things, and that is driver safety. The all-around driver safety, as far as, you know, driving tired, driving with your load unsecured, driving in unsafe road conditions, no matter what it is, being out here, you know, accidents happen every day, and we have to be extremely careful. You have to be extremely mindful when you're out there on the road, watching everything around you. You know, you can only take care of what you can take care of as a driver, as far as your sleep, as far as, you know, your load being secured, your vehicle being in good shape to be safe to be driven. So that's very important for everybody to understand. I've had topics where I've talked about staying awake, making jokes about it, because we've all been there. We've all pushed ourselves further than what we should at times. And me especially, my first couple of years doing expediting, you know, it was kind of not really realizing how to do things the right way. You push yourself, and that's the natural, you know, way of doing things that most people that get out here in expediting do, because it is a rush, and you're trying to pile miles on top of miles because that's money. It's just, unfortunately, when you first get out here, you don't realize how to do certain things. You know, if you're somebody that's never been out here and you get put in a van that doesn't have E-tracks or doesn't have any kind of tie downs and doesn't have a bunk or doesn't have certain things that you should have, you don't know any better. You learn as you go. And as far as, you know, managing your sleep to where you're not sleeping, you know, where you're not driving to where you're extremely tired, because I have done that. It was extremely unsafe when I first started. I can joke about it now because nothing came of it. I didn't get into any accident, so it is funny to look back on. Just like a lot of mistakes that we make in life, we look back on and we can laugh at, but at the same time, you know, you can look at it from a real sobering perspective and understand, you know, how much you risked at that point and what you could have lost by doing it the way you did. You know, and I say it because, like, my first couple of years, I had times that I would be talking on the phone and literally not make no sense because I was just so sleep deprived. You know, I've been putting in information on a GPS back then and totally forgot what the hell I was tapping into the GPS because I was so tired. Because back then I thought, pick up the load, deliver as soon as possible, be back in service. I didn't understand that you know, if I deliver at this time, it doesn't make a difference if I deliver at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning as opposed to delivering at 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. I should have taken that time that I had to sleep and get there on time still. It was just, and also, you know, some of us have too much competitive edge, and we want to think that we're Supermen and get behind this wheel and think, oh, I can drive for 24 hours straight. And we do it, and we're dead ass tired, and we're trying to recover from that for the next 2 or 3 days. So it's not worth it. That's why I try to share the information I share, because I'm trying to help people understand how to do things the right way without having to make the same mistakes that I've made or others have made that have cost them their lives. Because that's what ultimately it can do. Worst case scenario, it can cost you your life or somebody else's. The person that got a hold of me and wanted me to stress this earlier this year, and I kind of touched on it in a previous video, somebody out here expediting had gotten into an accident and died. You know, and I got a little more information about that, and it come to be that this person, and again, if my information is false, I apologize, but from what I'm being told, the person was driving tired. I'm not gonna mention who the person was or anything. my heart goes out to their family, because it sucks. The person's out there trying to make a living, and it cost him his life trying to make a living. And again, not trying to demonize this guy or try and talk ill of this guy. I'm trying to use this as a lesson to be learned, is that from what I'm understanding, there was no load securement, and when he got into the accident, he fell asleep behind the wheel, and when he got into the accident, the freight killed him. That's my understanding. And if that's not true, any of you that know who I'm talking about, let me know, and you know, I'll set the story straight, whatever I need to do. But that's what I'm being told from somebody that claims to know them personally. As I said, I'm not making this video and mentioning this guy's accident trying to put any negative light on what happened to the guy. You know, the guy was doing what he thought was best to provide for himself or his family, so I don't fault that. You know, wish that he would have taken a little more stock in, you know, making sure that he had things in the van to secure these things. But you know, all of us, none of us, I mean, you know, in particular, like I can take me for an example with my weight. I know that it's a problem, and I know that it can cause me, you know, to have a heart attack or something, and I want to change it, but it's just some things I do because it's just the way I'm used to doing things, and it's just easier to keep doing what I'm doing. So it's the same thing, you know, similar to that situation. I mean, you think that you got it. You think you got it under control. You think you're invincible until you're not. You know, and sometimes it's too late. You don't get another chance to realize that you made a mistake with something. And so, also wanted to show you real quick. I'm going to take you in the back and just show you, as far as just simple, you know, tie-down things that you should have in your van. If you don't have these things, you should not drive that van and haul freight in it until they take care of it, because there's no reason an owner, a fleet owner, or somebody that owns a van can't go. If you can't afford to go spend basically $150, possibly tops $200 to make sure that you have load securement, you don't need to be out here, man. You don't need to be doing this yet. Get with somebody that has that safe equipment, you know, because driving around that way isn't taking pride in what you do for a living, nor your life. So let me take you to the back real quick and let me show you what's going on back here. So first off, you have the E-tracks. You have 2 E-tracks. Secure that down. Have some D-rings that attach into the E-tracks. You have your straps. You also have these that go in to the tracks. Get a 2x4, put it in between here. It's basically load locks. Just, you know, put it down at the base of the skid, keeps it from sliding forward or backwards, along with the strap over top. Also, these vans, most of them anymore, come with these D-rings that are already attached to the van. So you should have multiple ways to tie your freight down, and there's no reason why you can't tie your freight down when you get your freight to secure it. Now don't get me wrong, I understand if you flip and roll a vehicle, you know, there's a good chance it could still come loose, but the impact of hitting something, if you have it tied down and you have these load locks, it's going to significantly decrease the odds of it pushing forward into you and doing any kind of harm to you. But please have the E-tracks, some D-rings, some load locks, straps, have everything you need. There's no reason why you can't have that. As you see, a beautiful day out. Let's see if we get a load today. Everybody, I want to stress to you guys how important it is to understand the risk you're taking when you try to drive tired and those things. You got to remember, many of us, you know, especially me in particular, I've been doing this, you know, almost 9 years now, and I've got a good routine. I know what I need to do. I know how to manage my sleep. I know how to do what I need to do the best from being sleep deprived. There's still times I drive a little tired, and most of the time that happens anymore is when I can't find a place to pull over. That's usually the only time that that's happening to me anymore. I've gotten everything down well enough, and I've learned how to manage my sleep and my runs well enough to be able to get through a run safely and not sleep deprived to where I'm delirious. I haven't been that tired to where I've been delirious since my first couple of years doing this. So please understand, you know, when I'm giving you guys these recaps on my amount of miles or a certain load I did in a certain amount of time, I'm not doing that as a braggart. I'm not trying to do that to show off or to say how super cool I am or anything like that. It's just the ability I have personally to be able to do that. There's some people out there that can drive even further and they have no problems. That's fine, as long as you know your body and you know you're not doing anything, you know, that's stupid as far as driving to where you're delirious. So understand, I've been doing this a while. Some of these other people that you see that are putting in miles have been doing it a while. You know, I don't do this and I'm pounding down, you know, energy pills or energy shot and energy drink after energy drink. I talk about energy drinks. I do one energy drink at the beginning of my run, and that is just to get the energy going. It usually extends me. I don't take energy drinks trying to keep myself awake. When I get to that point, as I said, anymore, it's because I just can't find a place to pull over. And I'm just looking for a safe place to pull over, because I'm not going to pull over just anywhere and risk, again, it's about safety. I'm not going to pull over anywhere and risk somebody, you know, breaking into my van or robbing me, or if I park on the side of an off-ramp or on-ramp and getting ran into. It's just, so there's a lot of things you have to do to, you know, secure your safety. And I just want to be extremely clear that do not feel that you have to come out here and show off and be like, oh yeah, man, I just did 26 hours straight. Rawr. Man, come on, man. That's all fine and dandy. You know, when you're wanting to be competitive with another person, I mean, I get it, but don't let that be your driving force behind, you know, driving unsafe. Just know yourself. Know that do your best to be safe. I get that we got to push ourselves sometimes, just like in any job. It might be sometime you're sick and, you know, accidents happen because somebody's tired and sick and not feeling well and at work and create an accident. So it happens no matter what the industry, you know, what type of job you have. But just be careful, man. That's all I want to say. I don't ever want to come across to you guys that you have to do what I do, or, you know, exceed what I do, you know, and that makes you a good expediter. Like I said, a good expediter or a good driver isn't based on just how many miles you can put in and how many miles straight you can do. That's just a small part of it, your ability to run the miles. You know, some of it's got to do how safely you're doing it, how professionally you're presenting yourself, how you know, concise you're doing, everything else in between, dealing with dispatch, your paperwork, your turning in of paperwork, all those, so on and so forth. So please just listen to what I'm saying and just be extremely careful. We're all out here to have fun and do a little bragging here and there, friendly bragging, but don't let that be what kills you. Don't do it. As I said, we've been doing this a while, and we have a good system down, most of us, so just be careful. Understand that whenever you're looking into getting into this industry, or if you're already out here and you're feeling like, you know, you just want to burn it up, just please be careful, okay? It's not about just the miles only and how many hours straight you can drive. So in summary, guys, just be safe out here. you guys' lives depend on it as well as others. We just had all this ice and stuff go through everywhere, you know, most of the country just recently, and because of that, you know, I'm in North Carolina. The weather's been solid here. It ain't been warm, but it ain't been freezing. But because of all of the storms, I'm pretty much stuck here as well. Fortunately, I'm not in the freezing, as I said, but, you know, called to touch base with dispatch yesterday, and, you know, Steve Barrett, he doesn't want dispatch sending any of the drivers into, you know, the bad weather, especially in these vans. So they're being pretty selective on what they do, which I respect that. Yeah, I want to make money. I'm the type that I feel obviously confident in my ability to stop when I need to stop, but at the same time, you can't control everything. So, you know, I'm thankful at the same time that they're not doing anything. It's just very important, people, that we're being safe out here and securing our freight and taking pride in what we do. We don't need to be losing people out here. Anybody have any kind of comments or suggestions or questions, you know, comment below in the comment section. Again, like, share, subscribe if you haven't. Appreciate everybody helping the channel out, and hopefully everybody out there is being safe and warm, and I will catch you guys later.
Your hustle got to be strong in this industry, as in any other industry.